Hi Elizabeth, this is Keith, and I'm gonna, with this video here, show you what you should be expecting to receive in the mail. I have 3 boxes. There's gonna be this box here, will contain the battery chargers, and then I have this box here, which will contain the IR lights. You're gonna also receive this brown box. It's kind of tall. I'd say it's probably about 5 feet tall. In that box is contain these smaller white boxes, and in those white boxes will be these tension rods. So these tension rods, I'd say they're about close to 7 feet tall when they're put together. That's leaning up against the wall here, so that's from the floor up. They connect by 2 of these screws. This is a rivet down here that basically holds an intersection together, and I'll show you that in another video what I'm talking about. But basically this is the rivet that holds this metal sleeve on the inside together, and then these 2 screws are part of that metal sleeve, and then here's 2 more screws part of that metal sleeve. And if you look in the middle here, there's a little bit of a seam. There's what it is, there's 2 rods coming together right here, and the metal sleeve fits inside this second rod, and then these set screws will come out a little bit of these holes. You can see they're kind of protruding out just a little bit, and that's what's going to help hold this other piece of the rod on. I will send paperwork with all this, so there'll be some paperwork that will show how these go together as well. You can either leave them together once they're together or tear them down each time. My advice would just be to leave them together. It's just more of a hassle if you got to tear them down and put them back together for every investigation. But in order for me to ship them to you, I have to take them apart. So that's why I point that out. There will also be this smaller tension rod, which is probably about, I'd say about 3 feet, maybe a little better than 3 feet. All these tension rods have this little, it's kind of a rubberized cap, and that's to protect the walls, because these are going to go either against a wall or against the ceiling and floor, and this will protect the ceiling, floors. If you have wood floors you're dealing with, something that could scratch easy. These rubber pads work great. We've been using them, testing them out. These tension rods themselves are really strong. Once you get them in place, they hold really tight. How you get them in place is this end unscrews. I'm going to try to wiggle this around with the camera here. Okay, so these ends, they unscrew to the length that you want. And then once you get them to the length that you need, of course they only go to a certain point, then what you do is you put them against the wall where you need it, and there's a little bit of a, you can't see it in the video, but there is a little bit of a springy in there, and it just pushes so that when you get it wedged in, you release, and everything will come apart and spring into the walls that you're intending them to stay in. Not sure if I can explain that real good in the video. I think you understand what I'm talking about. You'll see it in person when you try one out anyway. But this smaller one, you can see I already extended it out quite a bit. That's good for doorways or hallways where you're going between walls, between door jambs that are relatively smaller in nature. These bigger rods will be good for spanning between bigger walls, or like this room that I'm in, if I stand this rod up, you can see there's still a little bit of space before the ceiling. Of course, I got the wrong end of the rod. Let me flip this around for a second. So again, you just unscrew, and you can see how the rod's coming out. You unscrew it, and what you want to do is get just beyond the point that you need it. So I'm going to do this one real quick. Okay, and right there I have it, it's touching the ceiling. So what I want to do is bring it out a little bit, and I'm going to actually unscrew it just a little bit more. And then it won't come over, so I have to push it down and then let go where I want it. And now it's wedged between the ceiling and the floor. Okay, so that's everything you're getting and a little bit of a description quickly about the tension rods. I'm going to delve into a little bit deeper here now. So this is the end of the first video. Actually, it's not the end of the first video, I lied. So let me show you in the package for the IR lights. Okay, what you're going to get in here is a little bit of paperwork explaining how the batteries work here. These are 18650 batteries is what they're called. They're a lithium ion battery. I do have these fully charged. I don't know how long the charge will stay when it's en route to you. A little card here that talks about the warning for lithium ion batteries. So, battery wise, there's 2 batteries in each of these packs. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 packs, so you're going to have 12 batteries. Each IR light takes 1 battery, and you'll have 3 IR lights. Each of these IR lights are already set up with the configuration you will need for the GoPro accessory for the bike attachment that we talked about on the phone. And I'll show you how those work in the next video. I also have 2 extra accessory setups in case something breaks like we discussed on the phone. Hopefully not though, just be careful with them and they shouldn't break. Don't need to overly torque them or anything. It's just just snug will hold perfect. Okay, in this other box, like I said, I got the chargers. There's 2 different chargers here. Well, 2 of the same chargers, I should say. These are i4, they're Nitecore i4 chargers. They will charge 4 of the 18650 batteries at a time. So you have a total of 8 you can charge at one time. There's a little paper here that talks about the Nitecore charger and how to use it. This little thing here is, I just put these little tools in here. You have 2 different size Allen wrenches. You have 2 of one size and 2 of a bigger size. These are going to be used for those tension rods, for putting the bigger tension rods together, those little screws I talked about that you have to unscrew. Here's your 2 plugs for each of your adapters over here, or chargers. So 1 plug for each one. So that's everything you're getting in that box. And that should be everything that you will need to go, to use with the shadow trackers. So, all right, ending this video, and I will begin in the next video talking about each one of these, how they work.